Hello everyone, welcome to Invest, talk about investing, finance, fresh at the moment. For today's video returns only. Investment going to talk about today would be Ethereum ticker ETH. First, just want to say happy Thursday, everybody. We've had a great week so far. With respect to Ethereum, I'm recording this up 9:32 a.m. on Eastern time. Currently trading like the $2,319, up about 1.79% so far. In respect to the consecutive volatile days that we've been having so far, ever since that pump that we've been, incur from that B word summit that happened last Wednesday, it seems like the pressure has been enduring for quite some time now. So I would be saying it's about a week so far, right? And with respect to the sell-off that we've had also stemmed from the Chinese tension that been cultivating between the U.S. officials and the Chinese officials on some of the disagreements over compliance and regulatory pressures among countries and amongst companies that has any Chinese affiliations, right? So obviously with that, drove some sell-off across the equity market, but also have some correlations to the crypto market as well. And also with respect to the recent news coming from the FOMC meeting that happened yesterday, based on Jerome Powell's depictions and the verbiage that was picked up in the press release, we're leaning more toward a neutral slash, moderate type of positive pressure that subsequently, gave investors, I guess, some optimism on the economic outlook going forward. But obviously, inflationary pressure and quantitative tightening is something that we still have to keep an eye out on in a more of a foreshadow perspective. And I think the timing for that is still going to be 6 to 9 months out per Jerome's depictions last time. But there is no confirmed deadline or timeline for the tapering schedule yet. But we're going to be keeping an eye out on with respect to asset purchasing and watching the job numbers on how that's going to be fluctuating going forward. Is it improving or is it on a decline, right? Because that will kind of give us that signal as to with respect to inflation that's coming, or how is that going to be gradually subside or increase going forward, right? So, with respect today, as I'm recording right now, is currently trading on the sideways fashion, right? Kind of hovering around, above the $2,300 level, which is, frankly, not really a substantive level. It's just a flat number that we've been hovering. We're trying to breach above the 2,350. But again, that level is not really a substantive level either. The more substantive level is at the 2,450, right, per the historical trend so far. So I do think that we should have a high propensity to go down further to the 2,250. But I think, because of the optimism and the positive news that we've get confirmed so far, the selling pressure is not that severe, right? However, with respect to weekend affectation that's coming, and also with respect to the Amazon earnings that's coming out today, per my video that I posted before, I think a couple of days ago, Amazon, this did give us a little bit of a hint, right? They are currently hiring a product manager, a product lead specifically, which is going to be heading this initiative on, basically implementing cryptocurrencies or crypto assets into the value proposition of Amazon's e-commerce, right? So what does that entail? We don't know specifically yet, but we might hear a little bit more about their point of view on Bitcoin adoption or crypto assets adoption going forward, right? Obviously, with Amazon's stamp of approval, if we hear anything confirmatory on that front today in the earnings call from the management team, this will definitely be a huge gravitas into the market dynamics for cryptocurrencies, and which will subsequently drive some buying pressure onto Ethereum specifically, right? So I'm gonna go through a technical analysis to see how we're gonna be trending going forward, right? Are we gonna see more of a buying pressure? And what are we gonna be expecting from the weekend coming? And obviously the London fork that's expected to happen basically a week out from now on next Wednesday coming up. So it's coming very, very shortly, right? So that would be an anticipatory pressure that we have to, kind of bake into the adjustments for the price level going forward and the risk profile going forward as well. So stay tuned, stick around, let's make some money. Alright, so moving on to the technical analysis of Ethereum ticker ETH. I'm recording this at 9:36 a.m. on an Eastern time. Currently trading like the $2,316, up about 1.68% so far. You can see that across the whole equity market is relatively green today, and that's mainly due to the fact that we have that confirmatory optimism from the Fed on, obviously inflationary pressure should be, kind of a moderate level rather than like immediate type of a sudden fashion. And we are, watching the needle on how it's gonna be trending going forward. But the focus is really mainly, driven by the job reports and slowly allowing the economy to slowly recover going forward, right? So, pumping the brakes on, asset purchasing or quantitative tightening at the moment wouldn't quite make sense, right? Which obviously will be create some buying pressure across the equity market, and that's why we're driving some buying pressure today, right? And remember, we do have some anti-correlation effects from the crypto side, and also on top of the fact that with respect to the basically a week of buying pressure that we've had so far, basically ever since the B word summit. That happened on July 21st, but we had that anticipatory pressure that baked in on the 20th, subsequently drive up all the way from the 1750, which is a level I bought at. I bought 2 Ethereum from that level. That subsequently leap up all the way to the current level that we at right now, right? So what do we see going forward, right? So today's the Amazon's earnings call, right? So if we hear anything specific about crypto assets or how is that going to be affecting their business model or value proposition with respect to their e-commerce site on Amazon.com going forward, knowing the fact that they are hiring a product lead for that specific initiative, so we should be expecting some comments from them, right? Or is it just a rumor? Or is it something that's confirmatory that they are planning on doing something along the line on implementing that into their business model going forward, right? So something we have to watch out. But if that's we do hear some key words from Amazon's executives, we will definitely see some buying pressure. And the next level to leap up will be obviously the 2,350. But that's not a substantive level. The real level that we will leap up to will be the 2,450, right? And we leap up to 2,450. The next level will be the 2,600. But we'll obviously kind of hover around the 2,500 first because that's just like a flat number. But the likelihood of actually leaping up further to the 2,600 will be more likely, right? If we break that, we'll go leap up all the way to 2,750 as the next level resistance, right? However, we do know that the weekend is coming, right? Contingent on any black swan or news that surprises us this weekend, right? And knowing the fact, remember, the risk is increasing because we have been pumping for quite some time now. That if there is anything negative news, because a whale try to manipulate the market on basically try to secure some profit by selling, right? They would be ideally doing around these time right now, right? So I think the weekend could probably be that timing or the Sunday, right? Ahead of the obviously the London fork debut that's happening on next Wednesday on August 4th, right? So the frames of reference would be if we break this current level, right? The next level obviously going down to the 2,250, right? The next level after that, we hear more negative news during this weekend will be 2,150. And I think we need to do that because like firstly the MACD is crossing right now. We are forming some sort of a curvature. And also on top of the fact that our side is really overbought right now. So, and it makes sense, right? We are basically like a rocket ship, right? And this rocket ship has a really steep slope at the moment, right? And look at the angle here, right? This is like close to being like a, what, like an 85-degree angle, right? So I think this is, I would say the risk is definitely incurring. I would not chase the pump because the pump has already incurred, and that's why I was screaming at people like, "Hey, buy at 1750. That's the level to dollar cost average logically." Now would be the other way around, right? We should be expecting some selling pressure, but long term wise, if you buy at this level, you'll be laughing at these numbers because long term adoption for a corporate level perspective is going to outweigh the current level that we at right now. We are still at the infancy stage of the crypto adoptions going forward. So something to watch out for, but those are the frames I will be playing going forward in the near term. All right, just to recap on numbers and technical analysis, again, right, the current level that we at right now, we are just hovering. We need to retest basically the 2,450 for us to further leap up from here, right? But knowing the fact that we have basically a week of buying pressure so far, that the likelihood of actually going back down to the 2,250 at the current level right now would make a lot more sense than chasing the pump and expect that to leap up to 2,750 from now, right? The risk is incurring despite the positive news that we had from the FOMC meeting, despite obviously the moderate pressure from the Chinese and U.S. Officials tensions news that we've been percolating so far, right? And I think ideally $2 cost average would be like 2,150, knowing the fact that that's like a level of very cushion level, right? And if we go back again, this would be our 28th times of testing this level again, which again tells you a lot about the substantive level of this ideal price point for a lot of investors, right? And do we see 2050? I think that should be possible because of the weekend affectation, right? And we might hear some whale manipulations news this week, right, from Cointelegraph or CoinDesk or if you may, right? And that could probably get us there ahead of the obviously the London fork debut on the 4th, right? And the London fork debut should be driving some anticipatory pressure, right? On Sunday, ideally, right? And from there, we should be pumping all the way up to the 4th, which is on Wednesday, next Wednesday specifically, right? So something to watch out for. Respect to corporate adoption, 20%, 9,800, 4.4 times your money if you buy the 2,250. Alright, so that's it for today. Respect my technical analysis on the Ethereum ticket ETH. Hopefully this is helpful into giving you that clarity, that structure. And yeah, feel free to ask me any questions if you have any questions. I know, it takes some time to understand, the volatility and how that's going to be translated into the charts and translate that into your price executions going forward. But I'm always, try to be helpful. I always try to be, as responsive as possible, but I do get quite a lot of comments and I really appreciate that. I do know that some of the folks here on YouTube are asking for a Patreon or Discord or a WhatsApp even. I don't have any of that right now, but I will look into it and ideally provide you guys something soon. But hopefully you guys are patient and allow me to work through. I do have a full-time job at the same time. I do want to be working on YouTube at the same time, so I'm doing like 5 jobs at the same time right now. So my time is limited. And I wish I have more energy. I wish I don't have to sleep that much. But I really appreciate you guys. And stay tuned for the next coming up. Take care. Bye.